Hey everyone, it's Michael and
Reuben
from Bullion Now, bullionnow.com.au, bringing you all the really interesting stuff in the bullion community.
The giant stuff. What have we got? We have a crate, a bullion crate. Uh-oh, look out, he's armed.
I'm armed and dangerous, Rubes.
If people don't trust you with a little blade, I don't know how they're feeling about power tools.
Dear. Can I start?
I reckon, yeah. So
I think we still needed the screwdriver as well, mate.
there will be one I think I can get our hands on, so we might have to do a bit of a cut, but at least if you do the majority of the work there. So are we talking about what's in it, or are we gonna wait and see?
So everyone else already knows what's in it.
Well, yeah, okay, look, fair.
So this is the incredibly limited edition Perth Mint 10 kilo silver
Rabbit. So yeah, they only make 100 of these every year.
They are very keenly sought after.
Absolutely.
Very difficult to get hold of. I think we got one of the largest allocations in Australia out of these ones. There's always one. Oh no, it came.
Hey.
There's always one that plays up, but it didn't. It came out.
And yeah, that's it. They ship them in these awesome wooden crates.
Well, honestly, they're worth it just for the crate.
Yeah.
I love it.
Forget the giant silver coin inside. Just give Michael a wooden box and he's happy.
Oh, mate.
You heard it here first, man.
I love the fact. No, I don't. We'll keep going. I could get into their packaging all day, into discussions about it. But just the
box.
Just the box. Like, just look at it. Alrighty, so inside here we have we have to be very careful here. We have a certificate of authenticity.
Very cool.
So we better have a look at the paperwork first.
Ooh.
So there we go. So Lunar Series 3, year of the Rabbit, 10 kilo silver coin. And then over the page we've got, so you've got a blurb about the year of the rabbit and the design and the designer and that sort of stuff. And then in the bottom here you've got the technical specifications. So we'll look after that very, very carefully. Alrighty. And now for the unboxer rating.
Yes.
I look forward to this every year.
Yeah. And it's kind of one of those things that every year we kind of forget how heavy 10 kilos is. Yeah. Right as we're about to pull it out of the box. It's like, oh, hang on a minute, this is a bit heavy.
Here we go. Dum, dum, dum.
Keeping everyone in suspense, Michael.
It's broken. No.
Stop staring.
One 10 kilo rabbit. Now this is where I start geeking out. So if you're not into people geeking out over phones, over coins, you might want to tune out now. But you've got this incredible, dinner plate, let's face it. It's a dinner plate coin. You've got this matte background, which we should have brought in a rabbit to compare it, even a kilo rabbit. But none of the other coins have this kind of matte background like this. They're almost...
I reckon that's important enough that I very, very quickly go get one. So
okay,
give us 2 seconds and I'll be back. And as if by magic...
one appeared in my hand.
That's it. So this is the 1 kilo, which looks very small and in comparison.
Almost, doesn't it?
In comparison, which is normally quite a large coin in its own right.
Yeah, it is. And we'll actually get it out in a minute. But just looking at it, you can see, even though this is a matte finish, it's quite a bright silver matte. And I know I've just contradicted myself, but it's kind of the traditional matte, whereas on the 10 kilo coin, they get this almost ceramic coloured matte into it. And it's greyer and it brings out the detail of, if you compare the silver shiny finish on the rabbits with that matte background compared to the one in here, and I know it's slightly protected from the studio lights, but even in here you can see that it emphasises that the rabbits in the picture.
Yep.
The hair on the rabbits, so you can see the lay of all the fibres of the hair. Whereas even on the kilo, and you hear Matt and I no pun intended, you hear Matt and I going on about how, the larger the planchet, you can start to really see the detail in the design. this 10 kilo coin just takes that to an extreme. And it's, I get goosebumps. I love it when they do these. And I think, Perth Mint, if you're listening, in limited numbers, I think you should do it with some of your other coins as well. I think it's got real potential. Now, I want to protect this coin, so we'll put it onto here.
That's actually one of the things that I found really cool about last time we were in Perth, was seeing some of those original like engravings and designs and things like that. They are actually on, planchets almost this size some of the time. So to see a kookaburra or a koala that kind of size is cool enough already.
Can you imagine this, a kookaburra, not on a bird bath, it's 10 kilo.
That'd be very cool.
But just the weight of that is obviously heavy. It's 10 kilos.
Yeah.
You're stating the blinking obvious, but to get a coin of 10 kilos in your hand, it's just something else. And to give it a size perspective, that's the big coin, the kilo coin.
That's it.
Even the thickness of them. They don't read the edge of them, which is... they never have, but I always find that interesting. And then probably my favourite part of the whole thing, although as you can tell I'm geeking out over the whole coin in general.
Well, and the box and the entire process, let's just say.
On the obverse side, you have this fantastic thing. So we've got Queen Elizabeth, and I think they've done that well as well. They've kind of replicated the matte and shiny finish on that they have with the others. But just the fact that it says all the way down here, $300. This is still legal tender. So you can still pull one of these out, go down to your local milk bar and buy yourself a litre of milk with your $300 coin. And it is still legal tender in this country.
Bullion Now is not recommending that you do that, but it's nice to know you could.
Yes, absolutely. Now I'm going to actually put it down back in its box so it gets protected, because once upon a time I mishandled one of these and I cracked the capsule and it was an absolute nightmare to try and get a replacement capsule for it. So I don't
not really a standard size that you can order back in.
Yeah, so not good at all. Beautiful coin. There's only 100 of them in existence. That's all they make of them at all. They are handcrafted. Yes, let's get this out the way. You are far better off from a stacking perspective. If you're just stacking kilos of silver, you are far better off buying either 10 1 kilo Perth or 1 kilo any mint silver bars, or if you want it in a coin, it is far cheaper to get 10 1 kilo silver rabbits from the Perth Mint than one 10 kilo rabbit from the Perth Mint. Does that make sense? So I explained that the right way around?
Yeah. It's not quite as, like everything else seems to be, where, the larger you go, the more economical it becomes, basically.
Yeah, it's not. Because these are mass produced by the Perth Mint. These are effectively handcrafted. They are, they take a lot of work, and there's a lot of effort goes into producing them, sourcing the planchets. You don't just walk into a blank supplier and say, here you go, I need half a dozen of the 10 kilo coins blanks. They actually have to be specially produced. The dies are specially produced, and they're only producing 100 coins of them. So absolutely you are paying more than 10 of these. And I think we'd have to do the exact numbers, but I'm fairly sure it's about $6,000 over spot all up. So
yep.
I'm not going to do the rough numbers in front of the camera because I'll just embarrass myself. But if you expect to pay about $6,000 over spot for it, you're going to be within the ballpark, and I'm pretty sure that's exactly right.
It's, in all honesty, it's actually been a really interesting series to watch through us, because we got in the mouse, the start of Series 3, and I remember a bunch of people back in the community then saying, why have you done that? You crazy fools. And we actually sat on that coin for quite a while.
We did.
It sat up there, similar kind of premiums, sat up on our website for quite a while. And the reason I'm kind of bringing this up is because I'm about to drop some bad news. And this is really more of a highlight, because it was actually a few months ago, I think, that we kind of did an EOI that for these coins. But we just kind of, we've had them come through, and we couldn't resist opening one up and kind of highlighting it, because it has kind of become a bit of a tradition at this point. So,
now, we did actually sell out our allocation, and I know there was more left on the EOI, like more people wanting and we had allocation. However, I do believe that one of these may become available.
Okay.
There may be a cancellation. So if you have missed out on the EOI, this is the case, we will be contacting you very soon, or we may already have by the time this comes out. But if you weren't a part of the EOI and you think, actually, this is something I might want to lay my sticky fingers on, flick us an email, so sales@bullionnow.com.au, come into the store, so level 6, 227 Collins Street, or phone 1300 84 84 10 and just say, look, I'd like, if that one does become available, I'd like to put my name down for it as well. So just in case. I'm not fully convinced there is one spare, but just in case, I don't want people missing out if they're keen on it. This is really this is a great example of where stacking meets art.
Absolutely.
So it really is, if you're saying, I want the best value for money, 10 kilos of silver, you're not going to go anywhere near this. But if you want add that flavour to your stack, if you want that design, that wow factor, imagine sitting that on your coffee table.
That thing can become a coffee table.
Yeah, that's right. You could certainly eat your dinner off it. I mean, I used to call these things beer coasters, but this takes the beer coaster to the extreme.
That's it.
So, yeah. We have them. If nothing else, it's a great interest point. We love geeking out over it. But, yeah, if you're interested in that sort of thing, we may have one available.
Good stuff. Well, we survived, Michael. You brought out the industrial tools and we're all still here. Everyone's still got all their appendages.
Yeah, that's right. We lost no fingers in the filming of this one at this stage. We haven't finished yet.
All right. Thank you very much for that, Michael. Definitely a super cool and unique coin.
Absolutely it is.
Yeah, we will see you in the next video.
You will. Have fun.